Hello, it is Saturday, June 10th, 2023. I'm Chris Remo, and welcome back to the New York Times Crossword Daily Solve. It's a Saturday puzzle today, which means it may well be the most difficult puzzle of the week, and that wouldn't surprise me because it's been, I think, a relatively gentle week. I don't know, let me know if you agree with that, but I think we've had some puzzles that have been on the easy side for their individual days. We'll see if that carries through today. This potentially difficult edition of the Daily Solve has been brought to us by Alan Blunder, Mitchell Turek, Jenny Montague, and, as always, the invaluable Timothy Mark, the indomitable Shoalmaster, and the incredible Horan family. So thank you so much to the 6 of them, benefactors of the Daily Solve Patreon campaign, for their generous support. They are sustaining this channel, keeping this series going. For that, I'm very appreciative. And thank you to everybody who is a patron at any level. You can find the bonus videos for patrons at patreon.com/dailysolve or in the link in the description field underneath the video, where you can also become a patron. And yesterday I posted the most recent New York Times mini puzzle weekly pseudo speed solve, and my times were not bad. It's an improvement over last week. Previous week's mini puzzle speed time solve times were not so great, so I was glad to have a bit of an improvement. And of course, as a benefactor, you can also get the Daily Solve Let's Check the Crosses mug. So that's that. Do subscribe to the channel if you have not gotten around to that. And you can join the Daily Solve Discord chat server via a link in the description field as well. A nice friendly chat community. All right, so let's get on to today's crossword. This is a Saturday puzzle constructed by John Hoxie. I think this is his 4th puzzle for the New York Times, and it was edited, as always, by Will Shorts. So let's start solving and see how tricky this Saturday themeless puzzle is. Curved bed frame style. I don't think I know that. Red-faced guilty? I don't know. Other ways you could be red-faced. This is more of a figurative way, but I'm not sure. I'm not confident this is correct. Roast roost. What does that mean? Mythological figure with an eponymous body part. Okay, I don't think this is correct. Distresses, with an S, a drop before bedtime. Could be a drop as in a drop of liquid, but it could also be a drop as in sort of, I don't know, dropping onto the bed perhaps. A drop before bedtime, or a drop in energy maybe, I don't know. Central FBI component. It's not the letter B, is it? Or maybe it's just the word bureau, the central word in FBI, Federal Bureau of Investigation. It's probably that. Opening sequence. Opening sequence. ABC, the opening of the alphabet, perhaps? And distresses. Angers doesn't. It's a bit too strong for distresses, I think. What about this? Add with force. To add with force is to chip in, isn't really with force. To cram in? A drop before bedtime. Oh, sunset. The sun drops, or at least appears to, from our perspective on our spinning earth. Okay, so this could be on or in. Cocktails with orgeat syrup. A Mai Tai has orgeat, doesn't it? I'm pretty sure it does. Orgeat is an almond liqueur. It's used in quite a few tiki drinks. It's a great flavor. Okay. Oh, distresses, alarms. I'm distressed. I'm alarmed. There we go. So add with force. It does end with in. It could be cram in, I guess. I don't know. Fly at times. Fly at times. What is at times doing there? So it's not strictly a synonym for fly. Oh, I don't know. Composer Hatchatorian. Aram Khatchatorian, I'm pretty sure. I'm probably not pronouncing his name very properly. I'm sorry. I mean, I'm familiar in a general sense, but as often, I'm not completely certain of my pronunciation. Add with force. So maybe it is cram in. So what is this then? Fly at times. Oh, a lure, as in fly fishing, Right, okay, so this is the lore for the fish. There we go. Great. Gives out, emits. Okay, good. So we have this little corner cleaned up, at least mostly. Please jog our memory. Remind us. Yes. And not from Scotland, if you, well, if you're not from Scotland, then this word might be less relevant. But if you're in Scotland, a word for not could be nay. There we go. Blame shifting words. I didn't do it or something like that. Never did it. That doesn't sound good. Roman statesman for whom a Midwest city was named, Cincinnatus. I think that's correct. The city of Cincinnati, of course, named for Cincinnatus. There we go. Summers in Monaco. Étés is summer in French. Summers in French, I guess. Blame shifting words. What is it? Blame shifting. Yeah, I'm not sure. Home run in slang. I mean, I know the phrase homer, but that's not going to be it because it's too similar to home run, which is already there. I don't think I know very many synonyms for home run in baseball, unfortunately. What about this one? Headhunter's correspondent. A scout or a recruiter or, I don't know, correspondent. A hiree? Yes, okay. Yes, a headhunter, a corporate headhunter is corresponding with someone that they're attempting to hire or have hired, I suppose. Blame shifting words. He... I don't know. Keep going back to that, and I'm still not sure. Word with round or pound. Cake? Round cake, pound cake? I don't know if round cake is a phrase. Not sure. Finds a time for, in a way. And rain check events, reschedules or something games. Thinking of a rescheduled match is what I'm thinking of here. Home run in slang. Dressing up. Yeah, I don't know. I don't have enough to be sure. Let's see. Did we look at all the short words up here? I don't think we did. Goddess of spring. Who's the goddess of spring? How can I not remember this immediately? Chorus in Eviva Meko. I don't know. Is it Olays? I have absolutely no idea. This doesn't ring a bell to me at all, unfortunately. Use a laser, perhaps. Use a laser, perhaps. Scan, or what else would you do with a laser? You could scan, or you could point, or you could laser scan, laser point, laser. There's laser etching. You could scan or etch maybe. Hall of Fame point guard Thomas. Oh, Isaiah Thomas, I know from past crosswords, and I've just heard the name, I think. A basketball player. Let's see, does that work? That would work with etch. Goddess of spring. Oh, it's infuriating that I can't put this in. What about this one? From overseas. Well, I mean, if it's another French thing, we had something else in French, didn't we? Oh, we had the summers. This could be day, which would be from the, in plural, in French, from. Or if it has an accent, it could mean kind of as soon as, but I don't think that's what this one is. Anyway, red-faced, don't know, not just a track. Sorry, not just track, not just a track. Not just track. I mean, it could be track as in train track or a running track or something like that, but it could be track as in hound somebody or follow them. Subject of a Senate committee with an interest in gifts. Ethics? Yeah, okay. So sort of looking for conflict of interest things. Oh, goddess of spring, Gaia or Maya. Gaia is the goddess, is earth, right? So Maya, maybe? Red-faced, shamed? You're red-faced, you've been shamed, maybe? Mythological figure with an eponymous body part. Oh, Achilles. Right. When I saw a mythical figure, I was thinking of a sort of animal or creature or god or something. But no, I think it's a man, Achilles, with the Achilles heel, the bit of him that is one sort of part of his body that's vulnerable. So not just track, locate. So you're tracking somebody, but you've succeeded. You've not just tracked them, you're not just tracking them, you've actually located them successfully. Curved bed frame style, a sleigh? Is there a sleigh bed? That would have curves, I guess. I don't know that I've encountered that often myself, but it seems plausible. Yes, come together is gel. Yes, the idea is really coming together. It's gelling. Band lighting option. Halogen? Oh, is halogen band? Halogen lamp? Roast roost. Oh, a hot seat. I see. Right. Okay. So this is you're being roasted by comedians or friends or something. Say, and you're being insulted in good humor. So you're in the hot seat. And you're the one being roasted, and it's a roost because you're sitting there. Constellation named for the instrument it depicts. A lyre or a harp or something, maybe. What instruments would be depicted in it? I don't know. I'm guessing one of those, but I'm not sure. Oh, maybe this is a lays. That would be amazing if that were the case. Let's see. Telescope? Oh. I mean, that's a scientific instrument as opposed to a musical instrument. Maybe it's... But I don't know what else would be in there. Liberating. Setting free? Yes. That's an order. Stand... find time for. If you find for a crossword, you get to it. This really is looking like telescope, isn't it? So blame-shifting word. Oh, he started it. There we go. Okay, you could have children arguing about this and saying, oh, he started it. To shift blame. So okay, well, I think that's probably something dealing with telescope. That's an order. Stand... Finds time for, anyway. Oh, right, so we had get to find time for, and here we have finds time for in a way. Right, okay, so that's interesting that we have two of these, but one of them says in a way, because that means this one will be broader. It will be less directly synonymous, presumably. Dressing up, or ornately dressing. I'm dressing up. I'm ornamented, or ornamenting. Yeah, okay, you could say I'm dressing up the room. I'm ornamenting the room. Okay, that works. Yep. All right, home run in slang. Still not sure. Finds time for in a way. Something dates. You set a date, or you arranged it? No, it doesn't fit. Home run. Tater? Is a home run called a tater, maybe? Oh, this does look like games, the rain check events, doesn't it? What about this one? Athlete often found on the bench. Stand... That's an order. Oh, sorry, I didn't fully really absorb this and therefore didn't mention it either. That this is not in quotation marks. So this isn't going to be, the answer isn't going to be a phrase that means that's an order. The answer is something about which you could say that's an order. When you get these exclamation points, but the phrase isn't in quotation marks, it means it's not something someone is sort of speaking that is synonymous with the answer. It means you could comment about the answer. So it means the answer will be an example of an order. It's not something that means that's an order. So, okay, so stand... Okay, I still don't know what order this is. Stand... aside? No, I don't know. Oh, I thought that would make it easier. Hasn't yet. Athlete often found on the bench. Right, okay. Stand... Van trailer. Van Buren, as in former U.S. President Martin Van Buren. It's a word that trails the word van, perhaps? Oh, halogen bulb, band lighting option, halogen bulb, okay. Finds time for, anyway, carbon dates, right? Okay, you could find a time for, in other words, a time of origin of an artifact. You could carbon date it. That's very clever. So this looks like telescopy constellation. Okay, still can't say it. But this does look like games. Oh, makeup games? There we go. That looks right. Word with rounder. Okay, I guess it is cake. Round cake. Cake round. Round cake. Fair enough. Quoth the raven, question mark. Caw, caw, caw. Not sure. I mean, it's obviously referencing the Edgar Allan Poe poem The Raven, but I'm not sure what it's looking for here. Certain Zen retreat. Not sure. Speaking openly in texts. TBH, to be honest. Choice at a dry cleaner. Draining. Tiring, maybe? Who wrote, whatever our souls are made of, his and mine are the same. I'm not sure offhand. Currency since the Ottoman Empire, the rial, maybe? Oh, this doesn't look very good. Maybe not. Smooth out. I don't know, this could be wrong. Let's just look at the rest of the crosses. Remote indication of approval. An E something? Could it be an E word? Triple blank. Triple. Natural treatment for nausea. Gargle? Gargling, I would think, would be what that would be, so I don't think it's the answer. Also, I'd never heard of gargling for nausea. Volkswagen Golf model. Oh, GTI. I think there's is or was a Golf GTI, and I don't remember exactly what it stands for, but I think that's correct. So a ginger, maybe? It's interesting. Seems like the kind of thing you would suggest to somebody who's nauseous, I suppose. Triple entente? Entendre, maybe. As in, I know that doesn't fit. Triple, I can't see. Prized textile in ancient Egypt. Linen? Remote indication of approval. E-signing? Oh, right. Okay, so maybe approval as in approving a contract. And you e-sign it, so it's e-signing? I mean, I guess e-signing is the kind of thing that does sort of need an e term because it is fundamentally different to signing something on paper, whereas some e words are basically the same thing. They're just on a computer instead. This is fundamentally different. Who wrote whatever our souls are made of, his and mine are the same? Oh, Bronte. Oh. Is that Wuthering Heights? Is that Kathy from Wuthering Heights? It kind of sounds like it could be, but I'm not 100% certain. Currency since the Ottoman Empire. Oh, lira, Turkish lira. That makes much more sense. Turkish lira, yeah. Ottoman Empire. Okay. Choice at a dry cleaner. A hanger? Is that a choice? Smooth out is iron, as in clothing. Dry cleaner could do that for you as well. So it is triple entente, I guess. And that's an order. Stand at ease. Right, okay, that is an example of an order, which is what the clue is saying. Blank eaten without either mirth or music is ill of digestion. Sir Walter Scott. Meat, one would think. Telescopium, constellation name for the instrument depicts. I don't think I know this constellation, but I think it must be the answer. Athlete often found on the beach. Something lifter? I don't know. Quoth the raven. Okay, so we've done everything except for this corner here. Prudent poker player, perhaps. And without this, I'm not going to get any more help. Well, no, I guess we could get more help from these as well, but I don't seem to be succeeding in that. What is this lifter? Mad Men Network. Oh, AMC? I think Mad Men was on AMC. Does that help with this? Quoth the raven. I'm still not sure. And a certain Zen retreat. I don't know. I hope I recognize it when I see it, but I'm not sure offhand. Prudent poker player, perhaps. Hermes' invention in myth. Did he invent the lyre, perhaps? Maybe? Thinking, guessing. Tough to grasp. It's hard or it's oily? I mean, I was thinking hard doesn't sound like a very interesting answer. It also doesn't look great after lyre, but oily maybe? 2-to-1 e.g., a ratio. Maybe this isn't lyre. Boy, I really thought that's what that would be. 2-to-1, odds, ratio. Quoth the raven. Prudent poker player, perhaps. I'm not seeing these, I'm sorry. Twain protagonist. So Huckleberry Finn or Tom Sawyer. Sawyer would fit in 6 letters. Hermes' invention. It does look like lyre, doesn't it? So tough to grasp. Deli choice rye bread. Either brother in an old pop duo. 2 brothers who are a duo. The Everly Brothers? Yeah. Tough to grasp. This does look like caw. Doesn't it quote the raven caw? Oh, quoth, because I see, because it's not, yes, it's saying quoth as in the quoth, the past participle, I guess, of quote. So it's in the past. So cawed. I was thinking I was thinking about this more as one of the exclamation point style clues, even though there isn't an exclamation point. So I shouldn't have thought of it that way. And I was thinking it was going to in that way be something about which you could say, quoth the raven. So caw, for instance. But in this case, it's saying quoth the raven as in quoth the raven yesterday. Cawed. All right, there we go. So athlete often found on the bench. Oh, sorry. Did I read this as beach earlier? I think I did. Yeah, I think I read that as beach for some reason. So athlete often found on the bench. Right, okay. Does that help me? I mean, it's better that I know the real clue, but I don't think it helps me just yet. Certain Zen retreat. Prudent poker player, perhaps. Something with an R. Late departure. I'm not sure. So what is this? Tough to grasp. And what is this one? 2-to-1 e.g. A scale? Oh, yes. You could have sort of, I don't know, a model built at a 2-to-1 scale. Oh, so Ely, tough to grasp. Yes, okay. So that is, I have seen that used to describe something as tough to grasp. Late departure, red-eye flight, departs late at night and travels overnight. Certain Zen retreat is a mom cave, I guess. And it's like a man cave, which is also a terrible phrase. Let's see. Is that what that is? Mom cave? Certain Zen retreat. Is that right? This doesn't look right, though. Athlete often found on the bench. I feel I must have something wrong. Prudent poker player, perhaps. A passer. Oh, power lifter. Oh, on the bench, right, lifting weights, sitting on a... okay, so once again, I thought about this improperly, probably as intended by the... in this case, as intended by the setter. I was thinking of sort of second stringer. They're sitting on the bench during a game, but no, it's not referring to team sports. It's referring to the bench in the gym. So a hirer, a headhunters correspondent is someone who hires. Okay, they could correspond with a hiree, I suppose, but probably not. They would pass the names on to the person doing the hiring, and they wouldn't correspond by the time they're hired. So this is a power lifter, and then a passer is a prudent poker player. There we go. All right, I do think that was trickier than the last few days of crosswords, but hard to know how difficult it really was because I gave myself a bit of an unnecessary extra challenge in some of these cases, particularly when I didn't even read the clue properly. Athlete often found on the beach, as I read this inexplicably, and that was completely wrong, not useful at all. So anyway, there we have it. Those are that's the correct answer to today's crossword, the Saturday crossword. How did you find this one? Nice grid, full of all sorts of things. Look at that. He started it. Cincinnatus, carbon dates. You can maybe carbon date something to the time of Cincinnatus. Makeup games, power lifter, halogen bulbs, telescopium. I'm surprised I didn't know that, but I just didn't ring any bells for me at all. Setting free, stand at ease, ornamenting, just full of these nice, interesting, long clues. There we have it. That was the Saturday puzzle. Hope you enjoyed it. We'll be back with a theme tomorrow, of course. And in the meantime, let's just discuss a few clues from yesterday's puzzle. I don't know if this is probably not all of the comments from yesterday's video, but here are several that I happened upon. So David Plank reminds me that the Newton is the SI unit for force. I couldn't remember what a Newton was a unit of, so thank you for that. Syrinx32 points out that I think 54 across, the clue upfront payment before a deal is made, to which the answer is ante, can also be read as a punny reference to poker, where you pay the ante before the cards are dealt. I think you're right. I think that is not just also how it can be read. I think that is actually how it is intended to be read, and I just didn't pick up on that at the time, but I think you're right. Stephen Giblin points out that Loyola is a reference to St. Ignatius of Loyola, the founder of the Jesuits. There you go. Thank you for that. And finally, regarding my confusion about the Porsche 911 and how some of them are coupes, Daily Buzzard says, I think they're differentiating coupes and convertibles. This is an interesting example of sometimes knowing too much for the crossword. I immediately put in turbo because that's an iconic subtype of Porsche 911s, and then couldn't get anywhere at the center of the puzzle for 5 minutes. That kind of thing certainly happens. I think you're probably right about coupe versus convertible. So I was wondering, what else would a Porsche 911 be other than a coupe? Sedans? Surely not. But no, convertible, you could consider that its own category. All right, so there we go. That was the crossword for June 10th. Those were the clues from June 9th's puzzle, and I'll be back tomorrow with the Sunday crossword, a much larger grid with a theme. So do come back and join me for that. But until then, please do have an excellent remainder of your Saturday. Take care.